I'm recording you now. There's no going back. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You're existing.
Yeah.
I guess I should. This is new for me. I'm doing this now, but to do interviews and stuff like that. But I'm going to introduce you, Justine Jones at Teen Witch, the best witch on the internet. The teen, it's a teen one. But hey, you're awesome. You're a great artist, and by the way, there's no format. There's no like, oh, now I'm going to ask you. You get to just say whatever you want to talk about. I just am using this as an excuse to socialize because I'm like just in my basement all the time, like a freak.
I mean, I I can completely relate, but I just for the past 2 years I was living in like a 300 square foot apartment, like a 12 by 12 box. It was crazy.
Wait, that was in Baltimore or?
No, that was in Philly. When I first moved to Philly, I moved into this like tiny space. And then the pandemic happened and it seemed weird to like move. I just stayed there and just didn't talk to anyone and just lived in a tiny
just you and Mo.
Yeah.
But okay, so but it was sort of inexpensive, I guess, maybe.
It was, but the crazy thing is they're trying to rent it out again, and they're trying to rent it for $1,000 a month, and it's like
box for $1,000 a month.
Literally a box, and it's in Philly. It's not like this isn't like an expensive city, and they're like $1,000 a month for this tiny box. Totally cool.
Yeah, seems like people think they can like get away with stuff. I feel like there's this sort of a push pull right now that the pandemic has really exposed like kind of the flimsiness of institutions, and also that, you know, potentially we could all be living in these sort of more, I don't know, like relaxed, equitable circumstances, but we don't, because generally speaking, like people that have resources or have homes or have property or have money or whatever have just been slowly squishing everybody down. And then what happens is, you know, the faulty, flimsy, kind of threadbare social care aspects of America were really exposed for how crappy they were. And so it's interesting, like somebody be like, hey, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this. And then you have people who are like, all right, well, I'll just be maybe more uncomfortable and homeless instead of give you that money because I hate you so much. There's like a real class
but the thing is also like, it's totally bizarre because it's like I moved into a much bigger place and it's like barely more than that, and it's a block away. So like there are plenty of affordable places around here, and they're like minimalist living in the city.
Well, the worst part of it is like, yeah, kind of those the terms, the sort of fashionable terms of you know, it's like architecturally progressive, and it just means like there's a lot of holes in the ceiling or something. It's like a naturalist. This place is for connoisseurs of naturalist living, and it's like, dude, there's no roof, there's no ceiling. it's like people who love what is that like? What is that when something like myconology, like, you know, like if we're fans of myconological architectural interior life, and it's like, dude, there's just mold everywhere. They're like, yeah, but this is green. It's green energy. Green energy, dude. But anyway, all right. So
you're never truly alone because the mold is there.
Dude, it's the perfect roommate. I don't know what like all these renters are complaining about. Mold is a good roommate, apparently.
Yeah.
But okay, so you were there and you were like, well, I'm gonna kind of hole up, I guess, in this little box. And
it was just crazy. And then like, I mean, I guess in a way it was nice because I guess in a way it's like I got a lot of work done because all I did was just like stay in one place. I wake up, I draw, and then I like go to bed, and then there's not a lot of moving around. I'm just like doing that, but it also like just made me feel like I was going insane because I just wake up and draw and go to bed and like don't do anything else and don't really talk to other people and like just become completely demented. And
yeah, oh yeah, I feel that the isolationist demented space.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it for people who didn't have to do it. My like a couple therapists back was like, you know that your brain physically changes actually when you don't have enough social interaction and all this stuff. And I was like, it does? Like, yeah, the part of it that, you know, is community oriented and thrives on the interaction with people gets smaller and kind of dies away. And I'm like, uh-oh.
And then you like can't deal with being around other people.
Well, yeah, it makes you crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's just like living out of balance.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Now that like, I mean, I moved into a really nice apartment. For me, it's like the nicest apartment I've ever had. It's not like actually crazy nice or anything, but I was like really excited. I have like a studio room and everything, but
cool.
But everything is fucked up because my dog like fucked up his leg and it was this whole thing. And now like my dog's like other parent is living with me to help take care of him because it's been like impossible. And also I don't have my studio because I have to like, I still have to paint the bedroom because it smells like a bunch of cats, just like
cat piss.
Yeah.
That's an even worse roommate than mold.
Yeah. So now like my studio is currently a bedroom and it's just like not, it hasn't been great for trying to get work done.
No, okay. So let me ask you, say, you know, the balance of being able to get work done, or just like, I don't know, kind of like navigating this sort of banal, mundane things in life. That's like, you know, you're like, I'm a fantasy artist. I want to do cool art and shit. And I want to do stuff for Magic the Gathering or do my own thing. And like, yeah. I want to enjoy the bohemian life of existing in a creative state so that I could feel alive. And it's like, yeah, guess what? Your dog's leg is fucked up now. Or, you know, you can't, there's too much cat piss and you can't access your, art hut. I mean, is there anything that you do? For me, I started to exercise and to give myself space to kind of to do things that would kind of pick up the slack for the stress that I feel from not being creative, which is like doing things to move around. Do you have any like?
I mean, I work out like every day, but I don't feel like it helps. I don't have a thing that helps. I don't have proper coping mechanisms. It's the thing that I need to figure out. Like my life, I just feel like there's chaos and I'm just dealing with it, but not actually dealing with it. Just, moving forward.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting. I noticed that I feel such a pull to just kind of drink a lot of alcohol or just get fucking fucked up or something. Like I don't, and then like I find that my, I guess, coping mechanism is like watching a movie, but then since the insulary aspect of the pandemic has made me critical of every creative decision that somebody on a TV show would make. And so I'm like, I can't enjoy anything because I feel like I'm like, I would have done something different than that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm already like that. Like, people think I hate everything because I'm super critical of things, but it's so I understand.
Well, you know
but
what?
I feel like I can still enjoy, like, I have a projector, so like I can kind of feel like I'm in a movie theater in my apartment. That was like a really nice pandemic purchase, was I got a really nice, like, huge projector, and it's like being in the movies, but you're not there. No one else, you don't have to be around other people. It's great.
What have you been projecting? What have you been kind of watching?
I mean, like, everything. I guess I can't think of anything great that I watched. Oh, actually, what's really cool that I watched lately was it's on Netflix. I think it's called like The House. It's like a stop motion, it's a bunch of stop motion shorts, 3, I think. And the first 2 are really like cool, weird horror, kind of like weird fiction style stuff. They're really good. The third one wasn't really my thing, but it was still cool. It's just weird to see this crazy stop motion thing on Netflix, that has actual good writing and is like actually creative and interesting. I didn't expect it, but I highly recommend it. It was really cool.
All right, I'll watch that. That sounds good. It does seem kind of interesting when Netflix does something cool, or it's like wait what, like, this is crazy. Okay, interesting. You have decided to be cool.
Like, this isn't shit. I can't believe it.
Yeah, like there's like Love, Death and Robots is got some cool. There's some cool stuff.
There's some cool things in there.
There's a few beautiful things, but I met you at the Necronomicon, like that must have been like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, because God, it must have been 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
Time is weird. I can't believe the like years have gone by since like the world became different, I guess. It's just it's bizarre to think about the way time works.
Yeah, I am more and more kind of, I guess, in shock or almost cognitive dissonance, because I don't believe that we met 6 years ago. It feels like it was about 2, maybe.
Yeah, that's how everything feels. Like, everything feels like it was sooner than the reality, because I guess we have these like almost 2 years. I guess it's different time for some, because some people socialize more than others, but like that kind of disappeared from our life, or became like these warped realities that were just different than how we were used to things being before. It's just so strange. Also, for me, I was just thinking, things really changed because I became a full-time freelance artist right when the pandemic started. So before, I'd always like gone to work and like gone to a job and like, worked at a coffee shop or a comic book store or somewhere where like I talked to people. And that was like guaranteed social interaction. And then I'm like, now it's just like, don't talk to anybody.
Okay. So then so I know what you mean, where you don't realize the value of a job is actually that you're talking to people, and that's sort of a thing that you're supposed to exercise a lot. Yes, I know. It's been weird to realize that just when you're kind of disconnected from that structure, and then you go back into the world is like, oh, where are you? Who's this alien person that doesn't know how to talk right anymore? And I feel like that's what I go out there and everybody's like, what is going on with this dude? He's like on drugs or something. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just, hey, what's up? Let's be friends. But so you had a job, and then essentially, what was that like for you? And what was sort of the series of events that, the jumping from a job to professional illustrator, I guess?
I guess for me, it was weird because things all happened very suddenly, I feel like. But basically, I had done the 3 magic cards, like my first 3 magic cards, and I started getting just like way more commissions in general. And then when you're a Magic the Gathering artist, you get sent artist proofs.
Okay.
And those are like little, it's basically just a card. It's like the magic card that you did. You get 50 of each of them, but the back is blank. And they're like very valuable to collectors, and they'll buy them and then they'll ask you to do a little commission on the back for like an extra charge. And like some might want what's on the card drawn on it, some might want like a sexy lady. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sexy lady. Hell yeah. It doesn't surprise me that those nerds want a sexy lady on the back.
Whatever, like people collect different things.
You're like,
people like different things.
People yes, that's cool. So all right, so you're like, you kind of, I guess in a way, you're the material reality of what the pressure was of living in the box was not, it was like kind of the perfect, I guess, linchpin for you to be able to be like, all right, well, I know that if I do this amount of commissions and little, stuff for companies and everything, that you could probably swing it. Did you have any struggle with developing like an ability to override the uncertainty of being like, well, I guess I don't know where my next money's coming from, but I'm just gonna believe. I'm gonna believe. Like, did you struggle with that? I really did.
I did, definitely. And I was really stressed out for a long time. And I mean, it could happen again. You never know. Like, I still don't feel like the future is certain, but another good thing about working for Magic the Gathering is that there are art collectors who will buy your original art, and they will buy it for a lot of money.
Oh, cool.
So,
That's
so
great.
being able to sell like just a drawing that I did and make more money than I ever had, that was very helpful and made me feel like, oh, maybe this is a real thing that I can do and like actually support myself. But it also was kind of a mind fuck, because I'm like, I'm not some like famous artist and like someone is gonna pay for like my original art. And it just, I don't know, it's really weird, because it also, I feel like it just causes a lot of imposter syndrome, and like, because I'm like, I just do draw little like dragons and wizards. I don't know.
Right. I think that there is, it's really interesting to hear you talk about it, because the difference between when I quit my job in 2008, I think, versus when you quit your job, is that there was you had the internet stuff, you had like very specific developed niche interests. And I think there's a highly, there's a lot of like niche sort of industries and little things, right? And the Magic the Gathering has a built-in collectability and a kind of built-in lifelong fan interest and all this stuff. And it feels to me too that like there's a lot of like fragmented communities where it's like, I'm really into Magic, I'm really into comics, I'm really into this, I'm really into that. And I'm actually extraordinarily like fascinated by the development of all this stuff. I've kind of, it's interesting because when I quit my job, it was kind of like the crescendo of Juxtapose as this sort of blue collar outsider weirdo art stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go into this, right? Well, the problem is that the shift of it all became the crescendo of not just Juxtapose, but street art. And it was like street art was insane. And I was like, anybody want any occult psychedelic apocalypse art? Like, and everybody's like, no, we don't want that. And so it was crazy, because I felt like it was like I had stepped into my own lane which is not my lane, but specifically kind of as far as coming up into the consciousness of like a regular people and the internet and all this stuff. It's kind of like weirdo illustration, I guess. Well, it wasn't really like any one niche thing. It was kind of weird. And I found that I was like, okay, none of this is nothing's working for me because it's all built on trends that come and go.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard. But it kind of forced me to get into this mode where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be ultra hard headed and like antagonistic about, this is what I do. Nope, not doing that, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it's been super brutal, but I wonder like, you know, how many artists of that era, people that were like good illustrators and all this stuff, weren't able to, because they weren't too stupid to quit like me. Like, I wonder like how many other cool artists there would have been if there was like other cool communities of like things to jump into. And it's been really nice and really pleasing to me to kind of watch, since I met you like in 6 years, to kind of watch this beautiful arc of you starting and then kind of finding your footing, and now you're just kicking ass. It's like, it's cool.
I guess that is really weird to think about. Like 6 years ago, I could not have imagined being able to like support myself with my art. Like it just, that didn't seem real to me. The idea that like Wizards of the Coast or like anyone like that would hire me to do anything,
right?
I would not have believed you.
Right, but
it's really weird.
But the thing is that the reason that happened was because you developed a practice.
It's just because I guess I just never stopped drawing.
Yes, exactly.
But I also think that there is more of a like appreciation for like weird fantasy art right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much of it out there, and I see people getting really excited about it. Whereas like in the past, like you were mentioning, like the juxtaposer era and everything, I feel like it wasn't, I just remember people telling me that like my art just wasn't a thing that people like could ever be really popular, that people could ever, because it wasn't like the cool thing. You're not like a graffiti artist or like a weird, I don't even know how to describe the type of art that was popular back then.
Right, but the thing is that that's the opinion of somebody who is unable to hold on. Okay, wait, I was trying to end my meeting here. So it would like are you still there?
Me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. This trying to mess something's going on with my Zoom here. Let me see if
I know.
It's all right.
You look normal to me.
Okay, I look normal to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyways, so Mark.
Yo,
come here for a second. That's producer Mark.
What's going on, dude?
Hi, Mark.
So he's over. Something's wrong. It wants me to
Is it recording?
Yeah, but it's trying to get me to
for verification, please confirm your date of birth.
Yeah,
It's
but
never done that.
Sorry, this is weird. It tried to kick me off, or it wants me to upgrade.
Oh, because you're recording?
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, what is this? Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so weird. Everything is normal on my end.
It is?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sick, dude. It's working, huh?
No, well, I think it's working, but
it says recording in the corner.
Okay, good. All right, what were we talking about? I gotta I'm gonna continue this while I'm entering all my information so that I can continue this shit. What was that? What were we talking? Okay. We were saying that so the juxtapose thing, everybody's like, oh yeah, it's not cool enough. Well, the thing is that's an opinion that somebody would have without understanding that things change. Yeah. And that essentially what you're doing is in the lineage of amazing artwork that was never totally accepted by mainstream the world. Like you're doing artwork in the same tradition as old Dungeons and Dragons art or fantasy illustration, Virgil Finlay, all this like weirdo occult stuff. But those people that liked that shit are now old enough to play Magic and
to
D&D,
hire me.
Yeah, and now they're like into it.
I think that is a thing. I mean, in a way, sometimes it bothers me when people say my art is like old school art, or like the style is that, because I don't really think about a style when I'm drawing. I just draw what I draw. But obviously I am like influenced by that stuff. Like I like the things that I grew up liking.
Well, so you never were like looking at a monster manual and just being like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really liked that stuff. I also, like, when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to play Dungeons and Dragons.
You weren't?
So yeah, so I didn't like own that stuff, but I'd see like pictures of it, and I remember going in bookstores and like being obsessed with like fantasy book covers, and I was very into comics. Like I've always been really into comics.
Right, you were into X-Men.
Oh yeah, I like the X-Men, which I guess is funny because I don't draw anything like that, but I guess you would never know, but that's how I learned to draw. Was when I was a kid, I would copy sexy X-Men ladies.
Okay.
And that's all I would draw.
Which is coming in handy now for the back of those cards.
I don't really, that's not even a thing I'm good at now, but as a kid, that's like all I drew. I don't know why. I get in trouble because like my teachers would be like, Justine is drawing naked ladies. And I'd be like, they're not naked, they're wearing spandex.
They have, yeah, I mean, that's technically not naked.
They're not. But yeah, I was like obsessed with the X-Men and 90s comic book ladies as a kid, and that's all I wanted to draw. But I also was really into just drawing like dragons and fantasy things and fairies when I was a kid.
The dragon you just drew is amazing. Of course, unicorns. Do you have any of those? Do you have any of those old drawings?
No, they've got lost a long time ago, I'm sure.
Damn it. Hold on for 1 second. Mark, can you fix my Zoom? I'm ruining this interview.
Oh, no.
It's destroyed.
Pairing code.
You see what's going on?
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's, I don't know, it's just for some reason it's trying to get me to sign up, and I thought I already signed up. I've been signing up. Oh yeah, there it is. Can we go back into this room here? There we go.
All right.
Hopefully it works. I think it's working. It's still recording, right?
Yeah, it's been saying that it's recording.
Yeah, it's
fine. Time left 4 minutes.
Oh, it's got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I think you might have to start it again.
I have not done it like this, like as an adult, as a responsible individual, but people always ask me to join things.
Oh yeah, I've only been in Zooms. One time I had to do like a Zoom about a project, and it was really nerve-wracking because I'm like, I'm not going to remember anything you say. You need to just email me the information. Yeah. Because I don't know what's happening.
This meeting literally could have been an email. It literally every single one. But no, so okay. So you were okay. So the last thing, because we're gonna stitch this together, what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete all this dumb shit that I messed up and did wrong. Because that's I hire people to help me do that so that I could carefully compose myself to the public. But
you're known for being carefully composed to the public.
I am. No, actually, everybody tells me that that's what everybody thinks, but I'm still, I don't know if it's true. I'm just kidding. Everybody thinks I'm an insane mess. So, and that's fine because then the bar is low.
That's your brand.
That's my brand. Welcome to my brand. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I know it's good to brand yourself in a way that feels attainable to others. And so a hot mess, you too can be an insane mess. But
I mean, I am too. So.
We are, but I think that you're very much more like mellow hot mess. Doesn't have to seem so like you know, I'm just like, hey, what's going on? You know, and you're just like, everything's falling apart. And
I'm just a more introverted hot mess.
Yeah. Hey, things are coming together. Well, I'll take care of the extroverted stuff. You take care of the introverted stuff. But but like, yeah. So what I want to go to is that you were like, yeah, I'm just kind of drawing all the time. I love comics. I love fantasy stuff. I love weird horror, weird fiction. And so you were just going into that because you care about it, right? So
I just draw stuff I like, or like whatever I'm inspired by at the moment. Or I mean, that's what I was doing. Now I have to draw stuff because people are paying me.
Right.
Which is cool, but also like bad in certain ways. Like for creativity, like when it becomes your job, it's so weird because then you like have to draw these things, and then it changes the way your brain like it is in your, it's just weird.
Well, there's a different feeling that comes from, you know, sitting down and being like, I'm going to have a good time and draw a cool thing. And then there's another feeling that comes from, I hope the transaction that I'm engaging in right now goes smoothly and that I get the money. That's how I feel.
Also, I feel like I have really high anxiety, like really, really bad. It's actually like really an issue with my art as well. And that's one of my biggest problems is I'm always like, this isn't good enough. Is this good enough? Everyone's going to see it. Are people going to get like what they're paying for? Are they going to be disappointed? Is it like living up to my own standards, which are always higher than what I actually draw? But you know, it's just like a big thing in my mind when I'm getting commissioned for something. But then at the same time, it's always really fulfilling, like to draw a cool thing and people see it and then they like it and it's a thing.
I think it's like a series of being frustrated and irritated and befuddled, and then going into feeling grateful and excited and appreciative, and then going into feeling like annoyed and burdened and upset, and then going into like feeling grateful. And it's like, I know it's very because I know there's like a struggle with, you know, feeling like, okay, my superpower is being creative, you know, and I could do it. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But the anxiety that I would get from you know, doing artwork for somebody or something used to be a lot higher. And then I realized it's all just sort of a moment in time. And that I think that we tend to, as people who have kind of been conditioned to think that what we do is kind of expendable and not really important, but also the most important. So it's like, you know, being like, all right, I'm going to do my best and see how it goes. And nobody really thinks like that, you know? But for me, the way that I feel like is I've got this mode now where I think to myself, what is my goal? And when I want to be creative and do my best and see what I'm capable of, because I feel inspired by my heroes, then that's the entirety of the endeavor ends and begins there. But when I'm doing something for like a resource exchange, like money, I just think to myself, what do I have to do to get the money? And so that's, and like, and I literally, that's it. And it's just simple. And I think, okay, get this thing finished and make it look cool. Sure. Like that's fine. But this isn't the artistic, this isn't like my statement. This is a relationship I have in a material resource exchange where these people want to sell something and they need something to make it look cool. So, you know, doing things like what you have arranged, where you go, okay, I'm going to do some artwork for Magic the Gathering. Now, the fee that they give you, probably not, like, you know, if you want to pay your bills, probably not the most, like, probably not, you know, it's not just a sustainable thing where you could just be like, here, but then the extra shit, right? Like selling the cards and then selling the original art and doing it. So the thing itself that becomes like a sustainable way to exist because of the community and all this shit, right? I mean, because no company is trying to be like, yeah, we're gonna make it rain on you for this, you know.
They pay better than a lot of other companies.
Yeah.
But it's still not like, I mean, they're Hasbro, so they have like $1 billion. So like compared to what they could pay, it's not very much, but it's better than I think is standard. So I'm not complaining about it. But
yeah,
at the same time, I wish that I could make myself feel that way, because to me, I'm like still like, I'm drawing a Magic card. It has to be the coolest thing. And like then I just get so much anxiety about it. And then every time I turn something in, it's like, this is the time they're going to tell me, like, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? What did you do? Is this a joke? But then every time they're like, wow, this is great. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it was great.
But I think that, you know, what's so interesting is my favorite artists feel the same way. And then artists that like, just people who are trying, they're like, I don't know, I just want to do my best. And then there are artists who are not that good, that I don't like their art, and they're like kind of have a weird ego about it. And I'm like, you have the kind of the right attitude, but it's kind of coming too weird. It's coming out of in the wrong zone or something. You know, it's like you got to have strong boundaries as a professional artist, but the ego part can get tricky. You don't want to get too hung up on it. Like, I had a phone call, you know, with the bass player of Metallica, and they asked me to do a music video, and I said, I can't do it for this amount, but you know, I can only do a animated music video. It's like, you know, this much money. And they're like, well, we'll give you a fraction of that, you know?
Yeah.
And if I had my ego engaged, I would be like, who do you think I am? I'm going to kick ass. Like, this is an insult, you know? But what I realized is that it has nothing to do with me. And that so much of this, you know, interaction with artists in the world is, it's not about us and it's not personal, but to be so consistently undervalued all the time starts to feel personal. It starts to feel like it's like a societal, it's just like everybody is together willfully contributing to this, like, you ain't shit, you know? And it's like, well, but without art, you'd have nothing to sell. Like, you'd have no shirts, you'd have no skateboards, no video games, no movies, no whatever. So it's cool to be really just in a place of gratitude, but also you're making everything they do look amazing. And so it's kind of like, you can kind of remember that, you know?
Well, I think that's the problem. I'm worried about making it look amazing. And the other thing is, I think with doing things for them, my art is not, like, I never thought I'd be able to do art for Magic because my art is not the style of Magic. You know, they have like this modern style where everything's very painted and like, I don't know how to describe the modern fantasy, like what is popular when you look at like a D&D book now, or like most Magic cards now.
It's weird.
It doesn't look like, I mean, what it looked back when we were younger and like what inspired us. It looks totally different. But also, like, I'm not a painter. I don't do stuff that is like what those people do. So it always feels really weird to turn in my thing. But then I have to remember that they hired me because they wanted something that looked like something that I drew. But it's still weird to like compare yourself to these other people that you are nothing like.
Yeah,
who are
I know
also
that.
very talented.
I know that
very
style.
Talented.
That style is like weird, like oil painted, but also a digital oil painting style.
Yeah, some of them, I mean, the smart one, well, I want to say the smart ones because some people, I mean, I don't actually paint, I do digital colors, but if you're doing art for Magic the Gathering and you're a painter, you want to make a real painting because you want to sell that painting.
Yeah, that's why
but,
I do a lot of digital. You gotta make an actual physical thing, and then you could sell it that way too.
Like the physical painting is what you want to do if you're doing a card, but I think when people have deadlines, like it's just hard. Digital so much faster.
So the art directors must have been interested in changing the aesthetic, because they kind of, I noticed that
now they do a lot of like, I mean, their secret lair thing is like very, they jumped into that with the idea of like showing off different art styles and like being able to do things from different artists that didn't look like their normal house style. But now they're mixing in things to their actual sets that are like totally different styles. Like I have cards, like my D&D cards were in the actual D&D set.
That's
just
awesome.
like special like art, what were they called? Like they're just like alternate art cards because there was like normal versions of the art too.
So cool.
But yeah, like they're, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't asked you to do a magic card. Like, I mean, maybe they have you and be able to say.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming they're like, well, you know, it's like, I think they probably see me and they're like, this guy's already like doing his rip off magic bullshit. Like,
yeah, but they would like that. Like they would like, I mean, I feel like it would be, I'd be surprised if they, if they haven't asked you, I'd be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. The cool thing is that like, I really think that seeing what to me feels like more creative artists, actually.
Yeah.
Like Martin Ontiveros is killing it. He's doing great. I love what Gene just did. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're so cool, and they're gonna be like coming out every month because it's like a Zodiac sign, a card for each Zodiac sign, which is really exciting. So.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way it's like, you know, I would almost rather see some other artists besides myself on there, because I'm so spoiled and I get to do it's like, because I know that feeling. I know that feeling of when you posted a box where you showed that your artwork was on the box of the Dungeons and Dragons card. I was living vicariously through what I projected onto you as being sort of the kid who at Christmas who opens up the thing. They're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, I'm so excited. Like, you must have been so excited.
It was, I like cried. It was so weird.
You did? Oh my God.
I was like, I didn't know, like they didn't tell me they were gonna do that. And then like they did the preview thing and just showed the box. I was like, what?
Oh my God, that's so cute. That is the best. You cried, you're like, oh my God, I did it.
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, you got to send a photo of that box to those people who are like, you'll never be a good street artist. You'll never.
I think I actually know for a fact that the person who said that has seen it. So I don't talk to them, but they play Magic. So.
Oh my God, perfect. That's well, I'm living vicariously through that as well. I love a good revenge tale. So you're doing this. So okay. I want to ask you a couple things, but one thing is,
My earbud just made a weird sound. So if I have to take them out, I've never used these before.
Okay.
So
They're
I don't know how they
fresh.
work, but maybe they might be dying, but I don't know if they are. So it's
Oh
fine
yeah,
for
they
now.
might.
Warning
They're
you.
probably dying. They're probably dying.
I'm warning you if something happens.
Okay, no, not a problem. Hey, we're figuring this out. So one thing is, so you know, when you were asking me about screen printing, and I said, hey, my friends do screen printing. The reason that I wanted to just offer the idea to you that there is my friends do this fulfillment service, but they also make the stuff. They make, they made my hats. They do all this stuff for me.
I like that you're wearing your hat to show it off. It's awesome. I like the purple ones you just posted today.
Yes. All right. We'll send you
cool.
one. We'll send you one so that you could wear it or put it on your dog or something. But because the idea to me was the uncertainty of having a relationship with companies is that you never know when they're going to want to work with you or when they're going to not want to work with you, or you don't know what's going on. So to me, it's a little more legwork and it's a little more effort. But if you can create that community, that relationship with the community of people that like your art outside of these institutions.
Well, that's what I want to do.
Yes.
Like, and I used to, I mean, back before all of this, like 6 years ago, actually, I used to sell shirts a lot. Like that was what I did at conventions. I'd go to like the local Comic Cons and sell screen printed shirts and maybe some prints. But I didn't do that at all during the pandemic because I lived in a tiny box and I didn't have room for any inventory. And then when I started doing more commission work, it was just, I don't know how I'd have time to go to the post office constantly.
Yeah.
And
I know that.
And even now, like actually I started selling stickers during the pandemic because I was like, oh, they're tiny. I don't need to like have room to store
things. You can hide them somewhere in your house, your box.
And even that is like, it's kind of a lot.
Oh yeah.
to like
boxes of stickers everywhere. Hell no.
And then it's not just that, it's like also with the mail right now, everything's chaotic and people are constantly messaging me and being like, hey, do you know where my stickers are? It's the post office says they're here. Can you like find out what's going on? And I'm like, I do not have control over like the United States Postal Service. No. That's just not like
I gave you the tracking number. Now track
the
it
tracking
down.
number is here. I can't do anything.
You know, but like that customer service stuff was something that was really hard for me. And then I got really good at it because I started to think, man, maybe these are the only people in the world that really care about what I do. I don't know. And so I was like, I will personally fund your package. I will get it to your house.
I do. I'm like, oh, I will make sure you get your stickers. I will send you these other stickers. And then I'm like, what if this person just, I mean, people.
What if they're just, they already have the stickers. They're just like, I want stickers. Like, can I have more stickers? But you know, one thing I noticed is that people just want to kind of be told, you know, I'm here, I'm helping. I'm like, you didn't get your thing. You're kind of bummed, but you got an email from me. So you're feeling better and it's okay. And everything's cool.
Yeah.
But so what's funny is I got really good at my customer service and handing, kind of like opening up my Bay merch shop, you know, where I'm like, all right, here's all my stuff. And I go, all right, so what's the customer service like? You better be getting back to these people, like whatever, you know, and they're like, okay, we will. And I'm like, no, this is a thing. Like I have built a kind of, I have built something on caring a lot about people that like care about me, you know? And so they're like, okay, I got it. And I'm like, don't mess up my shit. I will mess your shit up. You know, they're like, yes, sir, Captain. But the thing is that if you can gain as an artist enough autonomy and create your own online stores and your own, like, you know, hey, I'm doing commissions, but they're what I want and I'm doing them and you could buy this and whatever. Well, then all of a sudden people respect you for your creative outlet and who you are and they want to support you and they like you and all this stuff. Well, then a company will be like, hey, want to do a shirt design for us? And you don't have to go, uh-oh, I have to pay rent and Mo needs a new dog bone. Yes, I'll do the thing. I'll draw the wizard for $100. And you don't have to do that. You can be like, nah, I'm good. And the thing is, a little known secret that a lot of illustrators and artists don't know is that when you say no, it just drives them wild. They'll like, oh, we got to give you more money. Like, oh, we'll give you anything you want, you know? So if you say, nah, I'm busy, I'm good. They'll be like, okay, well, like, when will you be, you know, available? And you're like, never, fucking never, man. And they're like, oh, we'll give you all the money. Cause I noticed that like what I got into, and this, I don't know if, you know, I'm a hard ass now after years of this, but you want to negotiate, you go, they say, hey, can we work with you? And you go, and as soon as you ask them, like, what's the scope of work? So you start saying shit like that, they know you mean business. Okay.
Yeah.
And they go, all right, this is what it's going to be. And then you go, I would be comfortable taking on this amount of work for, you know, this amount of money. And then you make the amount of money really high. And then they because you never know what they're going to say yes to, you know? And so I go, I'd be cool with that for like, you know, $20,000 or whatever. And they're like, what? That's insane. To be like, I know, I'm so busy. And then they'll go, oh, what about 15 grand or something, which is like, you know, maybe way higher than what I would have asked for. But then you're like, all right, I could probably do that, you know? And then all of a sudden you're like, hell yeah, man, I got dog bones forever for Mo. I got all the food. I got steaks, pork chops and shit. But, you know,
I mean, that would be nice. My thing is like, I also like, I want to be able to work with a bunch of like smaller independent creators and stuff. And the issue with that is that they never have very much money. So it's like hard to figure out what to charge people, because I'm like, I can't charge you the same as what I do for like Wizards of the Coast, but I also need a certain amount of money for it to even be worth it. But I want to help you with your fun project, because like I like doing like, I don't know, tabletop RPG stuff, like the independent tabletop RPG stuff. A lot of it's really cool, and it's just like I want to help be part of that stuff, but I also need to eat food and live in a place.
You know what? This is a technique that I have used. Is somebody will say, hey, we, you know, want to do something, and I say it's like a project I think is cool. Well, I would say, I'll tell you what, you only have like what, $100, $200 for each design or something like that. It's like, you know, this is independent RPG stuff. Like that's a lot of money for them. They're like, you know, this is bare bones shit, small companies. Well, I'll say, listen, if you buy the drawing as well, then you could you know what I mean? And then you kind of like, there's a way of like making it so that they kind of have to deal with it or something. Like it's kind of like, listen, you are taking this on. Now, whatever they want to do with that, if they want to make that, you know, if they want to like give those away as prizes or, you know what I mean? It's like, it's on them, but you know, it's good to be like, look, I really love what you're doing, but you know, it's just, it's like, I can't even justify it. You want to pay me half of a dog bone's worth of fucking D&D art. Like that's not enough. I need a full dog bone, you know?
True.
But so,
most
okay.
food's expensive.
Yeah. Your dog. Yeah. Which Mo just had surgery and is healing up, right?
Yeah. His surgery was really expensive, but he's, people were actually really nice. They helped a lot. I did a GoFundMe for him and everyone loves him. So he's actually sleeping right down there.
Oh, he's so cute. I heard that Mo's kind of a badass though. Kind of.
Oh yeah, he is kind of
likes to bite and stuff.
There was some dude was here earlier fixing my oven because it kept making sounds like it was gonna explode. And then the other day, like it set my pan of cookies like literally on fire.
Oh
so
no.
this guy came to fix it, and Mo is just like gonna fuck him up.
Mo wanted to bite.
Yeah, we had to like lock him away. He was not happy. Like,
yeah, I remember I was asking about Mo. I was like, Mo's cute. When we were in Providence, I think. Yeah. And then Gene is all, Mo's bad, Mo bites.
He's not bad.
And I was
he's never bitten anyone. It's just funny to say that he would, but he's never bitten anyone.
No, it's hilarious. It's all right. Even if he bites, who gives a shit, man? That's what dogs do. Maybe that's what they're protecting you. Especially some guy trying to fix the oven. You don't know where he's been.
Growls and I don't know. Also, Jean met him and he was very nice to her. He liked her.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think no, it's Jean's probably listening to this being like, I never said that. You fucking you suck, you liar. But no,
I think Mike says that all the time.
So. Oh, Mike. Okay, might have been Mike. Yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like everybody's trying to paint Mo as like a bad boy, but I don't know. It seems cute to me.
He's very cute.
Yeah. So what's the so right now you have your pre-order up for the Bloodborne.
Oh yeah. Sweater. So the shirts right now, should I talk about the shirts?
Oh yeah, shirts and yes. Yeah, what's going on? I'm trying let's promote that shit.
So the shirts that are up right now are Bloodborne shirts. It's like a design that's kind of like inspired by Bloodborne. The video, you don't play video games, do you?
No, but I like to watch people play them and I cheer them on heartily. I say, yeah, you killed the thing with the skull on it.
Well, I really like video games and Bloodborne is one of my favorite modern video games. So I made this shirt and it's also based on the Moon tarot card, which I thought was the best one too for Bloodborne because it's a cosmic horror game that has a lot to do with the moon. And it has a bunch of different characters kind of like hidden throughout the design, and I don't know, I'm really excited about it. I want people to buy it and then I can make more shirts, maybe my own designs, like more like my own, obviously this is my own design, but like of just like things for my own head. I actually also want to make more video game shirts. I have a Lania design in my head. But
hell yeah,
I actually have an older version.
Yes, let's see it.
This was printed by Sage in Baltimore.
Cool.
So it's not the same company, but this is sort of what the design.
That thing on the top is cool. It's scary.
Oh yeah, that's amygdala, which is like the wrong pronunciation for amygdala, but it's called amygdala in the game.
Perfect. That's a Japanese adaptation.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
so all you Bloodborne heads, go ahead.
It always turns out weird on the camera because it starts glowing white, but I swear there's like lots of detail and stuff.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, we see it.
And I'm really excited for the hoodies, like really excited.
Yeah.
And I want to reprint more of a couple other old shirts and then start new shirts. This is an old design that I'd really like to print again. This one was also printed by Sage. I want to make sure that
Sage gets some props.
Yeah.
Baltimore Sage. Wow, that's beautiful with the dragon.
Yeah.
Bring it up and hold it still for a second. I love the ornate nature of your illustrations. I think it's classic. Like you kind of came out you came out of the gate like with your own style. It's very ornate and opulent and detailed, and it's really cool. It's a very unique style.
I just like lines and rendering things. I think it's like really a product of like my anxiety or something, where I just love to like detail things out. It's just really calming and fun. And I love textures. Like I love to draw something so that it looks like you could touch it.
Yeah, I love that.
Wow. I don't know, it's really fun for me. And also I guess I have a lot of inspiration from like older like black and white artists like my dad hung an Aubrey Beardsley print over my crib when I was a kid. So
this explains it.
like,
This is the whole
seeps into my
thing.
brain.
Wow.
So yeah, Art Nouveau stuff like that, or like Harry Clark, and then like more, but then like seeping in more to like comic book art as well. Just like, I guess the way I draw is very much like comic book style with like line work, and then I color the line work. But then my colors are kind of, I don't really know how to color, so I just do whatever.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I understand. Yeah, it's very much like, oh, this kind of looks good, I think. And that kind of looks cool.
I dropped out of community college color theory class twice because it was just, I couldn't deal with it. So that's how much I know about color. I just know what I like.
Yeah. You know what's really annoying? When people go, you got to learn the rules before you break the rules. And I just like, people have been telling me that my whole life. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I ain't learning shit. The more you want me to learn. I don't know any of the rules.
I don't know anything. Like people talk, when it's weird to watch videos about like how to do art online and stuff, where people talk about like thinking about their lines. Like I have never thought about the way I draw a line. I know like you were talking about it, like your line weight and stuff. I only recently ever thought about line weight, and I don't use it because I use micron pens. So all my lines are just tiny, and any line weight that's there is like a product of me drawing it, not like just a technique of the pen. But yeah, I've just never, I just draw. I don't know.
The line weight is fun because
well, I don't use brushes, so it's a thing I've never thought about, but maybe I should try one day.
There is this pin. I should send you some pins that I think that you'd like just to mess up. The Kuretake Japanese pin is like a micron, but it's got like a brush at the end of it. And oh yeah, I'll send you some stuff. But I think that you would, because I started to mess around with line weight with microns, actually, where I was like, oh, I can kind of make it like a little baby brush or something. You know that artist Cancor, like at Cancor. I don't know if you know that, but like, does it like microns? They look crazy at Cankorr, but like, it doesn't look like he uses microns. It is crazy what that guy does with microns. And there's a comic book artist, Kyle Hotz, Hotz, and he uses pins too, and it looks insane. And so
this doesn't look like micron at all.
Right. And it's all microns.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, I just like very I like little lines. Maybe that's the problem. I've gotten bigger though. Like I used to only use when I was younger, I only used like the 005 micron, like the smallest micron possible, and everything would just be like tiny little crazy lines.
I love that.
But now I've moved on to darker.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Your dad knew who Aubrey Beardsley was. Was your dad?
Oh yeah.
Your dad was like a fantasy nerd guy or something? Or?
Oh yeah. My dad's name is Tristram because he was
Sir Tristram.
Yeah, he changed his name to Tristram when he turned 18 because
Tristram from the Knights of the Round Table, right?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this? I think you might have told me. This
Maybe.
sort of hitting me. Yeah, because Sir Tristram was the knight who was the young knight. Do you know the story of Sir Tristram?
The Tristram and it's also sometimes pronounced Tristan.
Yeah.
And Isolde. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Yes, the maiden. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah, he was very into stuff like that. He was also very into comics. But like he got me into comics, not because he had them around, he would just buy them for me because he was like, when I was a kid,
I love this dad. Like what? Yeah. That's so cool.
So that's how I learned to read, was reading comic books. Like
wow. you know, Eric Roper, his dad's got like a weird name in his or something, but Eric's middle name is like Moonhawk or something. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, my dad was into fantasy. He's like Eric Moonhawk,
Oh my
Roper. I'm like,
God.
dude, I can't get no dad. Like, I can't get no cool dad. My middle
my
name
mom
probably
would
call me
not
Budweiser, little Budweiser Jr. but that's cool that you had that influence.
Yeah, he's also like obsessed with like ufology and like I have a lot of like old fairy folklore books that he gave me because he used to collect stuff like that, and he has a lot of interesting interest.
Oh my
He's
God.
also a really good artist.
Really?
Like really good. Yeah. I don't think he's drawn anything in a long time. And now after his accident, his vision is messed up. So I don't think he really can now. But yeah, he's really good.
But he was in like a coma for a little while or something, or
yeah.
We don't have to talk about this at all.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
All right.
It was like many months. He was in a crazy car accident. It's like amazing that he lived. But he's pretty good, all things considered. Like he can't walk yet, but he's always in good spirits when I talk to him.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's like 70 something. So I don't know, it's pretty amazing that he recovered really well for being in a head-on collision with a dump truck, I think.
Oh my God. Yeah. Was this in what state was this in?
Maine, like back roads of like rural Maine. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, but he must be pretty like excited about seeing your art go and happen, and that you're.
Yeah, I think he's.
I mean, you're on the D&D box.
Yeah,
that's a dream. That's crazy.
It's weird. He's not a D&D person because he's like he's a weird guy.
He hates D&D, but he loves fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I like it. Particularities.
But yeah, I think he seems proud of it, I guess. I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, he says he is. I don't like my dad's really cool, but like I have a weird like family dynamic. Yeah. Like we don't talk to each other that often, but not because we don't like each other. We do like each other a lot. Yeah. We just are weird. I don't know.
Kind of sounds healthy to me.
I didn't grow up with him. Like my mom raised me, so it's
right.
Like
you're like, hey, I guess dynamic. Yeah, it's like you just check in every once in a while. But the ufology stuff. So this is funny because I'm like immediately in my head, I was like, how are we gonna start our UFO club? Have you ever been? I don't. Are you into UFOs and all that stuff?
I like it. I'm not as into it as he is. When I was a kid, I was more into it. Like when I was very young, I was like super obsessed with it.
Yeah. What about MUFON? You ever been to a MUFON meeting?
No, but I think my dad knows all about MUFON.
Oh yeah. You know what? I went to some. Me and Christy, we go, and you know, because there's chapters in cities. And we would go to this Denny's.
Oh my God.
And like the birthday room at Denny's where the kid, we'd go to the birthday room at Denny's for the MUFON meeting for last Sunday of every month. And you go in there and it's all these just weird people, cool, trippy. They're all UFO people and conspiracy people. And now this is before the internet was really popping with the conspiracy.
Also now I'm like,
now it's like,
it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Conspiracies aren't fun now.
No, because normal people got a hold of them and they didn't know what to do. It's like crack. They got cracked out. So, but we would go there and then they would say, we have a guest today, and it would be like somebody who got into Area 51 and then had all these papers and all these details and all this shit, and they would do their presentation, and I would just sit there and be like, damn dude, this is wild, this is crazy. And then at the end they would say, okay, anybody have any questions or anything? And we kind of talk and ask questions. But then usually some guy would get up and say, I have a bunch of extra gas masks if anybody wants to buy any military grade gas masks. Like, you know, it's just like weird people. And I would go, and Christy would just see me and she'd be like, dude, you're so into these people. Like, this is disturbing. I'm like, these are the only people in Sacramento that I like. I don't like anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love that stuff, and now it's just like, I don't know, everyone's brain has been,
they're melted.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
It's just depressing.
I don't know. It's totally depressing. Well, I think this is pretty good. Do you want to before you go, is there anything you want to talk about? Do you like, no, because I feel like everybody should have you should have your chance to say doing fantasy art is fun, but it's full of a bunch of creepy dudes, or it sucks, or it's like, that's like a given kind of. And then or like, is there anything that you want to do? Is there any kind of like projects that you're thinking about trying to do that you want to put out into the universe?
All these projects that I want to do that I'm thinking about, like, I want to do more comics. I want to learn more animation stuff. It would be so cool to do like my own TTRPG, like supplements and stuff. And I want to do my own art books. There's like a lot of stuff I want to do. And also I want to make more merch stuff. We'll see how this pre-order goes for these shirts. I just kind of picked something that I had done well in the past and that people had asked me about, but you just never know. I really like them, so I hope other people like them.
Do you go on to like Bloodborne message boards and stuff and be like, hey, check this out? I got a sick shirt.
I did a little bit. But it's annoying because like you're not allowed to advertise stuff on Reddit. So like they'll get mad at you. You can't do it.
Wait, so you have to have somebody else do that, right? Post that.
I don't know. All the Reddit, they no advertising at all. Like no promotions, like no. So
well, that's awesome / annoying.
Yeah. It sucks.
God damn.
I don't know. I did it for my stickers. I don't know how I got away with that. Because I have Bloodborne stickers and Dark Souls stickers that I sell on my Etsy. And I'm like, oh, maybe eventually I could send them over to like the merch thing if I start like putting more stuff on there, or like making more stuff with them. That way things could be a little more centralized. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's good to have things centralized. That's what I'm trying to do. Also, it helps with taxes because that's annoying to deal with. Welcome to hell, Justine.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to do my taxes this year. I need a guy. I need to find a guy.
Is there any tax people out there we can help Justine do the taxes? It's brutal. It is so annoying. I'll tell you if I find any good ones. But yeah, I'm always here also to bounce ideas off of. If you're like, oh, how did you do this? Or like, did that work? Or did that suck? Or whatever. And I will always try to send people your way. Cause there's like I get asked, to do projects sometimes. And I always have like a list of artists friends so that I can kind of immediately be, ready to say, well, I'm too busy, but I don't want to. And but these artists here are great and they'll kick
Give
ass.
it to this person.
No, but I mean,
I know. I do the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you want to, because I think, the thing is too, is that like I will see. I've done this in the past where I keep a list of not white dudes also, where it's just like, ladies and brown people and, queer folks that I love and all this stuff, so that I could, when this has happened where like a band goes on tour and then the print person for the tour says, hey, do you want to do a print for the tour? And I'll look at the list of artists on there And it's like white boys are us, you know, and I'll say, you know what you could do is you could hit these people up, and they're like, oh, okay, good idea. And I'm like, yeah, it will also make you look like you care about including others. But it's just like, it's not even like,
even though it was your idea.
No, it's my idea. It's my idea, but I would rather have it be me being like, this looks very intensely white, and it's a shame that it has to be me to say it, but I think that having an inclusivity practice is like a learned thing. It's not just, you know, so you have to kind of show people that it's something that should be on their mind, because a lot of times people who are not like straight white males are kind of sequestered in a lot of ways, and not brought in, and it's just, it needs to change.
It's also I think people give work and think of work for their friends, and a lot of like just straight white dudes are just friends with other straight white dude artists, and then they're like, that's their little bubble that they're in. So sometimes you don't think of like other people, and that's how those bubbles stay bubbles,
you're right,
like
absolutely.
Burst out a little bit. Also, maybe make friends with people who aren't just straight white.
Yeah, I know. Here in Oakland, I'm spoiled because I'm like, oh, everybody, I want to be friends. You know, they're like, Jesus, this guy's he's intense. He's got a lot going on. But I love it because I've been able to kind of expand the way that I think about what it means to have different friends and have inclusivity and challenge a lot of stuff. And my life is only infinitely better. And my taste in art and taste in expressing stuff has only grown by being around people who are just, you know, just transgressively acting out of joy, even though they're not heteronormative. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just been nice for me.
There's just so much good stuff out there.
Yes. So, all right. Well, I don't know. How do you feel? Did you feel like this was fun? Was it okay?
Oh, I had fun. Hopefully it wasn't totally boring.
No, it's not boring.
I have this problem where I'm really good at talking, but it doesn't matter what we're talking about. I'll just talk. So I don't know if what I'm talking about is interesting.
No, it's totally interesting. I think that this is an awesome first interview, because I'm not really good at it, and honestly, I'm very obnoxious. So I just talk and talk forever. But
I don't know if I'm obnoxious. I guess I can be obnoxious.
No,
I have an issue where I could talk for hours. It doesn't matter what it's about. I'll just talk. So I don't know if it's an interesting thing that I'm talking about. Do
you have you have a Patreon, huh?
I do, but I don't want to plug it because I'm really bad at Patreon.
Okay.
But if you want, like, sometimes I do a sticker of the month, or like I put up downloadables, like the goblin that I just drew. He's like high res download. You can download line work and color it if you want, and you can get a sticker of a goblin mailed to you. But some months I'm too busy to make a character, and then I won't charge you because I am not a jerk.
Yeah, I'm like I'm very much like trying to use this Patreon thing as an opportunity to create a job situation for my friend Mark, but also because my therapist is like, you need to hang out with people more and have friends. So I'm kind of like, if I had a
therapist, they'd probably say the same thing.
If I force Mark to work to do this with me, then it's like I have a friend and I can, you know, but it's just probably not. Well, you're my best friend.
Has Mark been there the whole time?
Oh yeah, listening? Mark, are you here? Yeah. Oh yeah, he's over here. Yeah, he hates it. He's not into it. No, he's awesome. The funny thing is that Mark is actually, he's a Peruvian punk rocker dude. He's lived in America for like 8 years, but he's like famous in Peru. And I'm just like, hey, could you be my slave? you know, but he showed me, he's in bands, he's so amazing. And he goes, check out my band. And then he showed me a video, and it was like an arena of people playing. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Oh my God. He's like, yeah, when I go back to Peru, we play shows. I'm like, holy shit. Okay.
Wow,
and so
crazy.
yeah, I'm like, whoa, okay, this guy, all right, maybe I should, I don't know. I feel like, am I wasting his time? I don't know. But anyways, I'm sure you understand. But it's been fun just to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, your Patreon thing is really cool so far. Like, all these videos are awesome. Like,
oh, good.
I have this weird thing. Well, I mean, I was talking about, I have anxiety issues. I have a problem like drawing in front of people, and I like could record myself drawing, but then I always forget because I like to be spontaneous. So I always want to do that kind of like record and draw thing because people like it, but then I don't know, it's like a hassle to me. So it's cool that you're doing it.
Right, but
you're better at like talking and drawing and like,
okay, it's hard though, and it's weird, and it's, you know, doing two things at once, which is hard when you're trying to do art. But the way that I'm kind of doing it is I'm using it as a disciplinary tool. So I'm working on my comics, and it forces me to work on that thing for that hour, and I can talk. And then I'm hanging out with Mark, and then he asked me some questions. And so he's sort of feeding me, you know, things. But I think the deal is that unless you have like kind of a developed skill of just speaking and illustrating like some kind of Bob Ross, you almost kind of need to have some people around just to talk or whatever. And I think if you had like a person there or something, and they were just sort of asking you or talking to you, or you were streaming, and like,
I can't do it.
No.
I wouldn't be able to draw because I needed to like hyper focus, like concentrate,
right,
or else like my brain is like everywhere, and it sucks because like I wish I could do it, and I really impressed when people do it.
Right.
I'm
okay.
Like, I can't.
Well,
like,
for now we'll
like
just
chaos.
do this. For now, we'll just do this. You have your Goblin of the Month club, and you're gonna. No, but this is fun because I really do have something in me where I want to bridge artists or something, and I want to convince artists that they're worth more than the society and our culture would have them think they're worth. And I too have had a lot of anxiety, and I wake up frequently at 4 a.m. and think to myself, why am I such an idiot? Why is everything I do so stupid? And I really do feel like the entirety of my life is cringe. It's all been cringe. It's all one long, like, horrendous, cringy thing happening. But I also realized that nobody else is really thinking about me at all ever. And that like my conspiracy or my anxiety has always been like a conspiracy about myself, where I'm just like, I'm scared or something's going to happen or whatever. And I realized nothing I really do really impacts people or the world in a big enough way to justify that I would feel that responsible. So that's all I do.
Also, people think very positively of you. Like, it doesn't seem like you're fucking up.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the thing is that I have tried my hardest to, I think, add something better to the world than take away and be negative, because I have tons of intense problems and struggles.
Yeah.
And
everyone, deep, well, not everyone, but most people do.
Like deep trauma, crying, suffering, and deep reflective moments and struggles. But I'm in like a lot of therapy. I spend so much money on therapy because it's important. Your brain is part of your body, and you have to work out your body and your brain together. And the best way that I'm going to be able to show up and experience love and experience connectivity in my short amount of time on earth is by addressing the things that are inhibiting me from doing that, which were survival mechanisms as a child. And it's just, you outgrow it. It's like you outgrow it. And, you know, I turned 44 in March, but around the time I turned 40, I realized that I was either going to be crushed by my problems and die really small and alone and afraid and not have any good relationships or anything, or I was going to jump into it and be like, you know what, I'm going to spend the time, the resources, the energy getting better and feeling better. And it's interesting because as I've sort of changed, my relationships have all changed, like all of them, with my family, with my friends, with people. All of a sudden I was hanging out with cooler people that were more open and nice and connected. And like, I don't know. I noticed that my standards changed for who I want to be around and how I want to feel and all this stuff. But therapy does cost a lot of money. So I don't know. We got to get you in there. It feels good to talk to somebody, especially like specialists.
One day.
Yeah, we got to do that. We're going to get your Patreon sky high, and then you're going to have therapy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I appreciate your time. I think you're cool. I'm very sad, and I was very jealous when you moved to Philly, because I love all the creatives that live in Philly. I want that around me so bad. I want to be there. I know, they're all so great, and I wanted to be there so bad and just be like in it, and weird spooky ass people, and
it's also like I'd be like, well, obviously come hang out anytime, but then there's a pandemic, so everything sucks.
Yeah, I know, but I'll be out there. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna draw some little demons and ghoulies and shit.
Maybe you could also, like, maybe you could talk to Jean or Mike on this.
Oh yeah, I'm going to. They're definitely.
Jean's birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, it is?
Happy birthday to Jean.
Happy birthday, Jean. We know you're listening to this.
I don't know when this will go up.
No,
she told me she was going to. So.
Jean and Mike are my absolute favorites. I love them. They're the best. And yeah, you're out there. And the more I find out about all of them out there, I'm like, I love that. I want that camaraderie.
Also, yeah, I'm curious. I was like, oh, it'll be so cool. Like, I can hang out with people and it'll be so fun. And then, I was just in a box for 2 years. So
straight box life. It's all good. You survived.
Like, life is so weird.
You survived. Well, it's been amazing talking to you. Give Mo a little hug and a kiss from me. I'm sorry I said that he bites. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry I blamed that on somebody else as well. Saying that. But I'm super excited to see what you do. I hope everybody checks out Justine's artwork and gets in on that sweater shirt, Bloodborne. Oh, hi Mo. There we go. Hi friend. Hi. Oh, hi, it's me. All right, Justine, you're kicking ass. I'm super proud of you. You're doing great. I'll post this soon and let you know. And I hope you have a beautiful night.
Thanks for talking. I hope people like this interview.
Of course they will. They're going to love it. It's going to be their favorite.
Okay.
All right. Peace out. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.